Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you are listening this lecture, we are now in the module 3, and we are going to talk about the couple of important functions over here. So in the first part of the module, we are going to talk about the leading. If the manager is working as a leader, you should recall and remember that there are 5 functions: planning, leading, organizing, controlling, and staffing. But here in this week we will learn about leading, and we will take a very important example from the top leadership of Oman to motivate you further how the leadership can change the overall nation, and how you, if you become a leader in a bank or in an organization, how you will be important for any Omani organization, because you need to lead from the front. In some cases, as a manager, you have to lead something. So let's start this module, and if you go with this module, our main objective is to apply the leadership concept in this regard. So let's go further, and we try to define leadership. If you see the leader is someone who see how to improve the things as per goals. This is the minimum leader. We will try to differentiate from the management as well, but let's see the 3 other definitions where you will define leader as a trait, leader as a process, leadership as a process. So let's see the first definition. The leadership is the ability to influence the group towards the achievement of vision or goal. For example, if you are an HR manager and you are leading HR department, you have to ensure the goal that you are hiring the right and competent person for your whole organization. Like Bank Muscat, you are hiring proper branch managers, proper cashiers, proper marketing managers, proper finance managers. So this is your goal as a head of HR department, to contribute to overall goal of organizational performance in this regard. But departmental goal as a lead of HR manager are equally important. So if you try to define in another way, the leadership is a process of social influence which maximize the effort of others towards the achievement of goals. This means here you are talking about the motivation. For example, if you are working with the team of IT and you push them to prepare the application or a project within 1 week or 1 month time, then you have to motivate them. So this will become the process, and team management and motivation will go hands in hand. So as a process, you should try to understand what is the leadership. The third one is leadership is an art of motivating group of people to act towards in a way to achieve the common goals. Like organization has a common goal, IT people should know how to achieve those common goals, marketing department should know how to achieve those common goals for a Bank Muscat. Similarly, finance department should know how to achieve that common goal, and the common goal could be the welfare of society, to improve the humanization and to improve the organization performance. And so these common goals, and each department should be contributing. But here you will try to differentiate the role of a manager. You are leading from the front, but at the same time you are the manager. So management involves coordinating, overseeing the activities of others to achieve the organizational goals efficiently and effectively. And we are studying this definition from the first of the week. So I hope we will discuss this further in our lecture. So let's go further. So if you go further, we have this styles of leadership. The first one is the transactional. It is very operational type of leadership, where you are concerned with the task. You order some task, and the employee has to go and fulfill that task. So for a lower level of leadership or departmental level, such a type of bureaucratic or transactional based on transaction to transaction leadership is more important. Because if you do one transaction, okay, you need to install this application, you need to create this project, you have to be very transactional with your team in this regard. So sometimes it is very important to go with the transactional type of leadership. The other type is the transformational. It is little different. Here you attract by motivating them and showing your character and leading from the front. For example, if you want to win a project, what you will do, you will try to say that, okay, I have won this project, why not you? You are my junior, let's let you become the leader, and you get fascinated from me, and let's achieve this, and this time you are the leader and you win this project for the IT team or for the coastal highway, anything like that. The third one is a little go further, that is the servant type of leadership, where you actually care about the employees and you go beyond the self-interest and instead focus on the opportunities to help followers and grow and develop them. You think that you are now in 50s or 55 and you are going to retire here, and you need to develop some leaders so that this organization should get a good leader. So then you adopt for the servant leadership. Then in this situation you push the employees and you try to prepare them for a next leadership task. So despotic leader, it's actually a negative type of leadership, but you should be aware of that, so that you should not get toxic from such leaders which are not behaving well and which may reduce the overall performance of the organization. So you can report for such leaders to HR if any such problem is happening. For example, it refers to the aggressive behavior towards subordinates. These are the despotic leaders. They actually exploit the employees and they create fears and stress among the subordinates. They represent that they are the full authority. They try to take advantage of the work of others. So try to be aware of such despotic leaders, and if any problem happens you can report to HR in this regard, and you should try to avoid such leadership style while you are managing for some organization in Oman. Ethical leadership is a recent leadership style again. Here you talk about the ethics. For example, you will talk about the social responsibility, you will talk about the personal and actions. For example, if something need to be photocopied officially, you try to allow them for official photocopy, official use of the resources, like you allow them to overall care of the customers, and you tell them that it is ethical to care the employees. And let's say if you are in the organization, you ask them to wear the mask. So be ethical and perform ethically and motivate others to be ethical. These are some of the leadership style. Let's move on further. Let's take the example of the charismatic leadership. And charismatic leadership, I will try to map the great Sultan over here, so that is not the political leadership you can adopt, but you can learn from it. That is why I am pushing it over here, so that you may learn, and we will learn more about this in the class. So there are three key features. Actually, they give and articulate the vision. They take personal risk, means their personal life sometime at the risk, and they are very sensitive to the followers' needs. They know that what the follower want, like jobs they want, or they need more help, then they are really sensitive to that. And finally, they have very unconventional behavior. So if you take the example of the great late Sultan, you can see that his leadership style and the leadership started in very early age, and after taking graduation from Britain, and you have seen that his claims were really important. For example, his first claim was that he is going to transform the government and government style, and you can see the infrastructure development over here in Oman just because of his vision. And because of his vision, you can see this Oman is really developed. It is no more a desert anymore. So then it's personally, you see in 70 is with Palace of Coup and all those things, he took his personal risk to change the government in a way that the people and the society of Oman should be prosperous in this regard. Then the sensitivity to the followers. You see there was a protest during the Arab Spring, and he sacked the 1/3 of the parliament, and he awarded lot of those jobs to the people. And finally, unconventional behavior was one of that example. Now you see he prepared the recent Sultan, and now you see during the cyclone, the Sultan Sultan Haitham is performing on his footprints like him. Like he is trying to give the job, he is trying to give relief during Corona, he is trying to deal with cyclone, he is trying to develop the economy, he is giving help during the cyclone to those areas, he is trying to give jobs. So it is an unconventional type of leadership which he has inherited from the Sultan Qaboos, and he is following the same footprints. And now inshallah this road of development for the Oman will continue, and you can learn from this charismatic leadership to how to you can use it during in your organization. But normally it is a political leadership. You usually learn something, but you may not ultimately apply everything in an organization, because there you have more controlled environment. You cannot violate the rules, or you cannot take the personal risks, or you can cannot go beyond your limits. So keep it in mind. You should learn some good lessons, but try to stay within the control of your organization. That is more required in the organization. So let's now continue further for the differentiation between management and the leadership. It is about how they set the goal. For example, establishing direction. The leader establish the direction, but the planning and budgeting, that is the execution part, comes to the management. That is the difference between leadership and management. The second is, how do we deliver result? Now the leader align the people, he motivate the people and try to deliver result by motivating them. But the manager actually do organizing and staffing. For example, they will create the hierarchy. They will tell you who will report to whom, who is the assistant manager, who is the CEO, and they will organize some rule so that you can learn from something. Then it is how to do you make it happen. The leader actually, what he will do, he will motivate, monitor and inspire by modeling. Like you can see the political leadership in Oman or anywhere in the world. So but the other style in the management is to control with the laws and rules. Now, you cannot motivate sometime people, because the people need to be pushed and controlled with the standards. For example, you can mark their attendance, whether they are coming on time or not. If you will not mark their attendance, they might not be coming on the time, and at the end of the day you may lose some customers if somebody is not coming to the bank on time. So you need to control them as per standards, and you may not apply the same leadership's outcome on the management side, because you are the management student. So keep it in mind, you will be following some rule and you will be applying some rule as a manager. So what are the outcomes? Here you differentiate leader from the manager once again. For example, producing change. How to produce change? For example, the change is to cut some scholarships. Maybe it could be only scholarship for the worthy student, not for all Omani students. Why? If someone is studying, they should get the scholarship. If somebody is not studying properly, they may not get the scholarship. And if these rules are coming, then it is for the benefit of the overall nation. The competent people will get that scholarship. Not every student will get that scholarship. So similarly in the organization, let's say some organization wants you to go and do your doctorate. So only the top performers should go and do the doctorate at the cost of the Oman Petroleum. Not every employee should go and do the doctorate. These are the special employees who are performing. They are very loyal to the organization since last 5 or 10 years, and they are really motivated and energetic. Then the private firm should invest in their long-term training. So this is the style you should understand. This leadership will matter, and producing a predictable and predictability and order is the outcome in the organization. You cannot facilitate everyone without the merit. There should be some merit and some constraints, and accordingly your organization can develop. Otherwise you will destroy all the resources of Bank Muscat in training everyone for a doctorate, which is useless. But if you train couple of managers who have the potential to become the CEO, then it is a right decision to invest with them for a DBA degree. Why not? And you choose one of them for an internal training. Okay, this could be our next CEO, or this could be our lead HR director over here, or board member over here. That is why we are giving training to those managers. So if the merit will prevail, then it is the outcome of the management in this situation. So then it is you have different parts. If you are a leader as a manager, you have different parts. For example, you have legitimate part. For example, if I am a director, human resource manager, or director IT, I am the boss over here, or a manager IT, then that is my authority within the position I hold. So then it is the reward part. For example, I can motivate employee by giving them salary or bonus, or by giving them the leaves, or by allowing them to come in the evening instead of morning. This is the reward part to motivate. Or I can reward my employee by giving them extra time if the family needs them. If the employee is working on a weekend, and if someday he is absent, I can allow him, okay, no problem, you have done your job very well during the start of the project, so now you are allowed to take a couple of leave, go and enjoy with your family. So this is the power I have. Then I will be able to motivate the employees. Then you have the expert power. For example, if I am an IT expert, HR expert, marketing expert, finance expert, then this skill will help me to motivate my employees. They will come to me and learn the financial skills from me. If I have no such IT advanced skills, and the sub junior has such advanced skills, what will happen? The things will go out of the control. I should update my IT skills, I should update my marketing skill, so that I should inspire my juniors. They should come and learn with me. So these are my expert power in this regard, and then I will be able to lead, and I will feel authoritative, and people will respect me in my organization. So next is the coercive power. It is the power to punish subordinates. For example, if someone is not coming on time, then I have the power to cut the salary or anything like that. Then this is another power through which I can control my organization. So let's talk about the motivation type, and different leader actually motivate, and this part is equally important, because without motivation you cannot survive in the long term, and people may leave your organization. So I should keep motivating them by talking to them, by engaging them informally on the lunch and the tea breaks, and keep discussing the problems. So there are different ways to motivate the employees. For example, is the result of an interaction between the motivation is the result of the interaction between the person and the situation. Okay, for example, the cyclone is happening and I am the city manager of Sohar. So what I will do, I will interact with the people, and I will try to motivate them. Yes, it is a 10 years, after 10 years this special situation is happening, but we should stay motivated, and we should go around the colonies and try to vacate the land. And this is the situation. I will try to motivate my team, and they will go in those problem areas. So if you talk about as a process, the motivation is the process by which a person's efforts are energized, directed, and sustained toward attaining a goal. For example, I motivate them with the reward, I motivate them with my gesture, free will, giving them free time. So this will motivate my team, and they will achieve those things. So now there are three actually things: energy, direction, and persistence. We will talk about this in our class in more details. Let's talk about couple of theories in this situation: theory X and theory Y. If I assume that every manager is a work shirker, they don't come on time, then I am really negative person, then I will think negatively for my employee. That is the theory X. And then what I will do, I will punish them. Normally it is not the latest style, you should try to avoid it. First try to motivate them, try to go for a theory. Why? Try to trust that they are willing to work, they may have a genuine problem, try to discuss with them and try to motivate them. So the theory Y, as a manager, what I should assume, if an IT manager, as a head of IT, what I will assume, that the workers can exercise self-direction, they are responsible and they like to work. If they have some genuine problem, they will come to me and take a proper leave. So this is the theory vibe. These are the key assumptions. We will discuss more detail in our class. Similarly, there are a leader member exchange theory. Here I will talk about in group and out group. Who is in group? Based on the attitude and work. If I am a very skillful person, I will like to have that person who is hardworking and skillful. But if I am like political person, and then I may try to have some person who is already with around me and trying to polish me and not working sometime. So I should try to avoid such type of leadership, and I should try to favor those people in Bank Muscat or wherever I am who are more skillful, and they are working hard, and they are not coming every day to my office to polish me or and doing anything nonsense for me. So this is the thing you should try to understand in leader member exchange theory. We will discuss more in the class, where we will be talking about role taking and role making situations. Sometime if you are new leader, you try to your first time becoming a CEO, then you try to make a situation, and finally you take over and try to come up with the full power, and you try to motivate people. In some stage you will be learning from the staff what is happening. So different situation we will discuss about the leader member exchange theory. So this is all about this lecture, and we have some couple of implication over here. For example, you should hire a candidate who exhibit transformational leadership, meaning he is trying to motivate people, not to punish and push the people for a transactional basis or despotic basis. The other is hire candidate who believe in ethical and trustworthy, means ethical leader who are more ethical and not misusing the organizational resources and anything, and with that character they can motivate the other employee as well. So the third recommendation as a manager is to invest in the trainings of leadership, so that you can prepare the future leadership, and the manager should become a successful leader. Thank you, and that's all for the leadership lecture. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.